What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, this is the Chieftain TBX SCC, and I still haven't decided what the SCC stands for. I've got absolutely no idea. I went for Supercharged Car. I'm pretty sure that's not what it is, but I don't know. But there it is, looking absolutely fantastic. The competition has finished. We don't quite know the winner yet because I'm recording this a little bit in advance, but I will let you all know the winner on Monday when we put it on our pin board. It'll obviously be already on the Discord by the time that happens. But if you want to know now, head over to Discord. You should be able to find the answer to who won at the previous competition. Fingers crossed it was me. I doubt it, but there we go. This is the Chieftain TBX SCC. We got ours from the auction house, and it's not bad, in all honesty. Condition-wise, I've definitely seen a lot worse. We've obviously seen better, but there we go. Did we get a good deal? No. I bought it for 30,809 and could sell it for 25,656, losing out on 5,153. But we will be taking this absolute monster onto the drag strip today to try and win some drag strip winnings from the tournament. Maybe we can mitigate all of that loss from a drag strip win. We shall see when we get there. It does have a powerful enough engine. It's got the V8 2-carb overhead valve, a supercharged engine with 545 factory horsepower. We will obviously be increasing that with all of the performance parts, getting it all tuned up and are ready to go. Now, this one obviously shouldn't have an ECU because it's got two tunable carbs. There we go. That's the word I was looking for there in there. So we might be able to get a bit of tuning on there as well, just to increase it that little bit more. That engine's looking pretty complete, and this one's looking good. It's got a livery on it, but it's not the livery we're going to go with today. You have already seen the livery. That is a livery made by Metasoma. I will put a link in the description below, but I will tell you one thing. Once you see it on my car, the one you'll get from the workshop doesn't quite work with the hood that is on this car. There isn't a tuning version of that livery in it, so I did have to sort of create my own, but all I did was take his original hood layout and place it onto the tunable config, the tunable livery file, and do it that way. Nice and simple if you want to do that one. But there we go, and let's get stuck into this beast, and let's get it over to the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. Here we are in the car wash. Let's get this Chieftain TBX cleaned. You can see it's not that bad, and it does already have a livery on it. Is it the same colour all the way around? Do we have some funny coloured panels? No, it's actually not that bad, and it does look good in black and orange. Not what we're sticking with today. Let's get the interior done, get this beast back on the lifter, get that engine ripped out of there, and start stripping everything down. Let's get underneath and check for that oil pan. There is a big old oil pan there. That engine is definitely scaled up just a tad, but it looks incredible in there. So let's get all of that oil drained out. Filthy oil, but there was quite a bit of it, more than normal. So let's get underneath and see what's going on in here then. It is definitely a rear-wheel drive beast, as you would assume from a big drag strip monster. So let's get this drive shaft out of here. Two rusty bolts at the front there, none at the back. But there we go. Out you come, and out you come there. We'll take out the cheeky little starter, nice and easy. And then we'll get this big old gearbox. Lots more rusty bolts on there. So let's just get this one all out of here and ready to go. If I could press the button, that was. I completely missed the mouse button. But there we go. Out you come, and we'll grab the front exhaust sections as well, just to be on the safe side. And let's try and rip that supercharged V8 out of there. Hopefully we can. Grab the engine crane, get you over. Don't need to open the hood because it's missing at the moment. Pull it out, nice and easy. That is what we like. Let's get in and see what we've got going on inside this engine bay. So we've got the old school radiator, liking that one. Cheeky little fuse box just up there. We've got the power steering reservoir, the wishy-washy reservoir, and a brake servo. No coolant reservoir on this one today because the coolant goes in the radiator. I remember that now, idiot. Let's take the battery out. We'll jump down the back and get out the fuel pump. And is there anything missing? If I could get back up the front, is it going to let me? Let's go. There we go. Anything else missing from the front? Doesn't look like it. We took the battery out, so that's fine. Now we need to drain. Go into normal mode. Now we need to drain some liquids. Additional tools. Drain tool. And I'm going to start with the radiator because that one does need draining out. There we go. That's where all your coolant is stashed in there. But you know the drill is right-click. Additional tools. Drain tool. Click on hold on the container. And it will drain it all out. I'm going to get the rest of this all stripped out. When we come back, it'll be time to work on the bodywork. That's everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on this supercharged Chieftain TBX. But we need to start stripping this bodywork off finding out what goes where. So let's just get into it and see what we've got here. That's the front end. Is that just not a piece? That should, in my opinion, that should be a piece. But there we go. Out with the windshield, off with the door, side skirts. They're not a piece. Window, out you come. Anything. Trunk, rear window. The rear window is in. That is incredibly clean, and I almost couldn't see it. Rear bumper, tail lights. Don't need you anymore. Well, not for the moment, at least. Anyway, back in, out you come, and that should be it for the bodywork. We'll grab this one singular piece of interior. I do believe this is all it is, because it is a drag strip version. That's why. Yeah, there we go. Nothing else in there. Have we got everything? That's not the screen I want. 1%. And nothing showing up on there. We have got everything. Always change that. Frames at 48%. And I bought it for just over 30,000. I reckon this might sell for a bit. So I'm going to go 900. 1,500. Way off on that. Let's jump into the body shop very quickly. In the normal body shop, that's all your pieces there for the Chieftain TBX. A 1-for-1. And there should just be a couple of pieces in the body tuning shop. You got 2 different hoods. 1 front bumper. No rear bumper. Couple of headlights and some extra mirrors to go on there as well. This is the hood we'll be going with today, obviously. If your build uses any one of these hoods, that livery that I've given you the link to won't work on them. It only works with the standard livery, and it probably won't work with that front bumper either. Just putting it out there, but there we go. Let's get this one all ready to go. So I'm going to put this one back together pretty much as it came. I might change a few little bits. We shall see in just a moment. Let's get the Chieftain TBX XX all back together, starting with that wonderful hood. I do love a hood with a cutout. They just look pretty good. And then we got the normal fenders on there. There we go. I did swap the headlights to the B headlights, although if I'm being honest, I can't really see that much difference between the A's and the B's. But never mind. I did stick with the stock front bumper as well, because this looks a lot more paintable than the chromey one in the alternate parts. There we go. In with the windshield, on with the door. Body window, door window, and then the mirrors, I kept them as the A mirrors, again, because they look a lot more paintable than the alternate chrome ones. So there we go. Let's get all of this in and ready to go. On, nearly missed. On you go there, on you go there. I do believe I forgot to buy a seat, but I'm not sure. We'll find out in a minute. Rear window, in you go. Trunk, in you go. Rear bumper again. Although there is an alternative rear bumper anyway, but it looks paintable, so we're going to leave that one on there. And just the standard tail lights, because there aren't alternative ones for them. That should be all of that. For the plate, I said it in the intro to that section there. We went with the TBXXX on our VM plates. I just quite like the name. And it made me think of the Triple X films, which is pretty cool. They were quite good films by Vin Diesel. And they're not Fast and Furious franchise. There we go. So they're looking cool in there. Is that everything for the body? It is everything for the body. We just need to get some interior in. Let's press the right button, shall we? Let's get into that. There we go. For the front seat, did I buy it? I did. I bought my 370Z racing seat. Hopefully that one will look cool in there once we get some colour on it a bit later. And I kept the same as standard steering wheel with that steering wheel 7. Looking nice. Is that everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. It is indeed. Let's get this one into the paint shop and give it a fresh new coat of colour. Here she is then, the Chieftain TBX in this stunning livery. We've done it in a metallic, and I think it really makes all of the reds and yellows pop on this excellent livery. Absolutely fantastic work there by Metasoma. It's just a shame that if you get this one from the workshop yourself, it doesn't work on this hood. You do have to add this part in yourself. Otherwise, you won't be able to get it. But it is looking absolutely awesome. Loving the seats. We got the piping on the seats again, but this time in a yellow. Looking absolutely fantastic. We did the mirrors in a red, matching in with the red work on the flames there. The front bumper is a yellow, matching in with the yellow on the flames. And so is the rear bumper. I did have to paint them separately. They don't go in with the livery. So if you want to do it, you just have to paint them yourself. That's what we're going for. I'm imagining like red, yellow, red coming out the top of there, trying to match in with that skull. Looking absolutely awesome for the engine. Wherever it's gone there, the scoop coming out the top there, and that's going to look pretty good. That's what we're aiming for. Now I need to crack on and get absolutely everything else painted, ready to go back on this beautiful Chieftain TBX, so we can get this beast onto the drag strip and maybe win a drag tournament. That's everything painted, ready to go on this little beauty, looking absolutely fantastic. So let's get started with the suspension. We got black shocks, red springs. It does look a bit pink, but it's definitely red in there. Looking pretty good. Very dark underneath this lighting here. But let's start getting this all in. I'm just going to put in the cross member so you can see it in that lovely metallic red. Looking fantastic. Now let's crack on. I'm going to get the front and back done, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Just putting on the rear brake drum, and that is the suspension, well, half of the suspension all finished. We got the leaf spring rear drive axle in the yellow, the knuckle in the red with the plate in the yellow, and the brake drum itself in the red. Leaf springs in the red, plates in the yellow, and then the 2 U-bolts are in black, along with that shock there, looking very good up the front. If I could get there, can I get there? Yes, I can. There we go. Got both the upper and lower suspension arms in the yellow, the knuckle in the red, the plate in the yellow, and then the hubcap in a yellow with the brake in a red. Now, the brake's in a slightly different red, again, because I did all of this in normal paint, just so you guys can see this is all normal painting. Obviously, Quality of Life mod makes it so we can paint a little bit more, but the brake is good. A little bit of bonus on there, just so it will shine through a little bit better when we get them wheels on a little bit later on. But let's crack on. That's not what I wanted. I wanted the fuel tank up there. We've got that one just in a black, and then the fuel pump just in that metallic-y sort of red on there, looking very nice. Now I'm going to crack on and get the rest of the other side of the suspension all done. Then we'll come back and sort out the engine bay before going and building that lovely V8. That's all the suspension finished in red and yellow with a tiny bit of black here and there. Choice black, because we don't have to do that anymore thanks to the new updates to the Quality of Life mod. Thank you, Metzi. Absolutely love it. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments below. But let's move on. Let's get this engine bay all sorted. There's not much in here today, so I'm just going to crack on. Wishy-washy reservoir, power steering reservoir, and then over here we've got the fuse box. We've done that one in a cheeky metallic red. We have sort of forced it a little bit with the Quality of Life mod, but let's just get all the fuses in. In you go, in you go, in you go, and on with the lovely lid on top of there as well. Up here we got the brake servo. In you go, the battery. In you go. And then the last piece is the radiator. Now, I didn't want to lose any textures on this, so I just did it in the yellow. It is sort of like the same yellow as the suspension, but the rest of the engine is going to be a little bit brighter. Looking very good in there, but let's go and build that beautiful supercharged V8. We've already got it started, and as you can see, we've got the yellow on the yellow there. Looking absolutely fantastic with the oil pan just in a cheeky little black. But now we've got to get all of the insides for this side done. We've done them all on that side. It is 8 push rods on either side, 8 rocker arms on either side, so 16 of each of them in total, plus 4 spark plugs on either side, so 8 in total altogether. I'm going to crack on, get the rest of them in, and then we'll move on and get the front of this engine all finished off. There we go, that's all done and ready to go. It's looking very yellow so far, don't worry. There's going to be a few more colours added to it. I say a few more colours. There's just going to be a bit more red and a little bit more black in there. On with that cam gear and the timing chain. Now, the timing cover, I would normally do this red to alternate it, but I've kept it yellow today. I think it looks pretty good on there. In you go. We have got the crankshaft pulley in a black. We've also got the power steering pump in a black on there as well, with the alternator also in a black over this side. Very, very black. The oil filter also in a black. The ignition coil, I didn't change. I left as it was because it's got a bit of black, a bit of red in there, and it looks pretty good. The fuel filter is sort of a forced red just to match in with everything else. And we got the water pump in a black just because it looks pretty good on the yellow. The water pump pulley is also black. And then we've got black belts to go on there. The fan is black, by the way, just in case you were wondering. I just wasn't meant to say that yet. The ignition distributor in a lovely red. The rotor's not painted. If I could press the button for long enough. The cap's also in a red on there as well. And then we've got the clips in black ready to go on. In you go. Can I get the other one? Where is it? Hiding? There he is. In you go there in black. Now, let's move on. Let's get the engine head covers on there in a beautiful metallic red. Looking very, very nice on there. Liking them. In you go. Nip over to the other side and we'll get this one in as well. In you go. Really liking that. I think the red and the yellow works pretty well. It's a little bit cartoony, but it still looks good nonetheless. Intake manifolds also in a yellow in through the middle. Looking quite nice. Then we've got the supercharger, the bit that makes this engine whine, in a beautiful red on there. Again, looking very, very nice. The carburetors are in a yellow, but they've got that two-tone with a little bit of red on there from their factory colouring. Looking nice. Then we've got the scoop air filters. We did them as yellow as well to blend in. And then the actual scoop on the top is in that lovely red. So it goes red, yellow, red, which is exactly what I wanted. Let's get the last belts on. One just there and one just here. All blacked out. Looking very, very nice. Oh, we'll get the fan on as well. You've already heard it's black because I accidentally let that one slip, but there we go. The ignition wires, oh, if I could click on them, are also in a black on there. Just looking pretty good on the top of the engine. And then the exhausts, they're all black as well. And I think they're going to look pretty good at sticking out the back of the car, considering it is a pretty raised up. So we will definitely, hopefully, be able to see them. So let's get them all in and ready to go. And that's it for the Supercharged V8. Looking absolutely fantastic. If I could get the right angle. There we go. Looking very good on there. Let's get it off the stand, though. Let's get it dropped into the Chieftain TBX. Out we go. Let's get you put in. I'm hoping this is going to look really good. Let's get the crane put away. All depends on how well I match the reds and yellows. It's looking nice in there, but the real question is going to be, when we close that hood, how is that going to look? That's looking pretty good from there, but let's go up in the air and just take a bit of a better look at it. Oh, that looks fantastic up there. Very, very pleased with that. I love this livery. It is absolutely fantastic. But there we go. Let's get underneath. We've got the gearbox drive shafts and them exhausts just to sort of squeeze in at the end. In we go. I don't want the exhaust. I want the engine. Okay, we're close enough, so it's not too bad. There we go. Let's get the gearbox in. I've done that one in a yellow, but we did it with that little plastic red, which keeps just a little bit of red on there. Very different colour red, but it still looks pretty good nonetheless. The starter is in a red, not forced, so it gets that natural-ish sort of colour to it. And then that exhaust, yes, is all in the lovely black. So let's get that all going in while we're here. We'll put the drive shaft in. And I did it of red just to put a splash extra of some colour just on the underside of the car. In you go. And then, oh, too far. The final bits of exhaust for them rear mufflers. In you go and in you go. And let's take a walk out. Oh, too fast. And see how good that looks. It's pretty black under there, but that red drive shaft really adds some colour. And then if we go to here, them exhaust tips sticking out the back look very, very cool. Back down you go, Chieftain. That's pretty much it. I'm going to get the liquids topped up, these windows tinted, some beautiful wheels done, and we'll get this car outside in the sun. Well, there it is, all finished with the Born to Burn Chieftain TBX, as I've been calling it. I absolutely love this livery. It is well and truly fantastic. Let's just talk about these rims very quickly, though. I've gone for the rim Retro 11 on here today. The front rims are an 18-inch rim with a 245 width and a 50 profile on there. Just in a black, looking pretty good. And we did sort of change the yellow on the Goodyear Eagle to match in with the yellow on the body. Looking nice. Down at the back, they're a little bit smaller rim. This is a 17-inch rim, but it's got a 285 width, so a bit wider, and a 60 profile, so more rubber to burn, especially as this is a Born to Burn. Looking fantastic in there. But let's jump in and check out this interior. I love the fact that you can get the piping on these seats. It looks absolutely incredible. These were my favourite seats before. They're now like another level, my favourite seats. Absolutely fantastic. No colour on the steering wheel. As you can see, it matches in with the carpet and the dashboard. Looking pretty good, but let's get this supercharged V8 started and hear that baby whine. Nice little tick over, but it's more about when you give it the gas. Oh, that car, that supercharger really does whine at the top end. Absolutely loving that. Sounding fantastic, but let's get this beast onto the dyno, see what its horsepower turns out today and what this one's drag rating will be. Here we are then on the dyno with the Chieftain TBX SCC with that V8 supercharged engine, 545 factory horsepower. How much have we added? What's this one's drag rating? A gain of 538, so close to a whole new engine, 99%. I am happy with that. Plus, it's taken us just over 1,000 horsepower at 1,082. Drag rating of A, 850. Not quite the full top end, but that's good because we don't want the full top end competition on the drag strip because they can sometimes be a little bit harder to beat. But anyway, let's go and check out the gearbox tuning setup. I've gone for a 2.25 ratio. I have made some adjustments to this, but I haven't added any more gears. That's how many gears this one comes with. Still looking pretty good. 104 kilometers an hour in first gear, 376 kilometers an hour in top gear. And we do also have the carburetors, both fully tuned and ready to go. It is nice and simple. The way I do this is I get the two outside ones matching and then just you know, you go down and down until you get it all level. It is nice and simple. There is a short. It's not quite as good as the ECU one, but there is a short to help you nonetheless. Let's get this beast onto the drag strip and try and win a tournament. Here we are then on the drag strip with the Chieftain TBX ready to go in to another drag tournament. King of the Sands, 1 mile, A-class, pay our 1,000 entry fee. And who have we got with us today? Oh, Buckshot's making an appearance as our first competition in the VM edition of the Abarth V12. Absolutely fantastic. Who else have we got with us today? No, oh, Multiply down there in a McLaren F1 wide body. I hope we don't come across against that, because that is going to absolutely destroy us. Let's get into our first race against Buckshot and see if we can win. Well, there it is then, the absolutely low-down Fiat 500 against what looks like an absolute giant Chieftain TBX on the drag strip next to it. Not quite what I was expecting. That does have a little V12 in it. Hopefully we can still beat it. I don't want to go out in the first race again, so let's get going. There we go, off the line, into second, and if we can get there, into third. We are way in front of that Fiat 500 at the moment. I'm definitely glad it's going to stay that way. Let's get up into top gear and get this beast across the finish line. What sort of times and speeds are we going to have with this beautiful Chieftain TBX today? As we finally, come on little car, you can do it. Let's get across the finish line. There we go. What is the times and speeds for our first run? I'm just happy we won and didn't get knocked out. We managed to do the 1/4 mile in a 9.155 seconds. The 1 mile in a 22.775 seconds. With a top speed of 358 kilometers an hour. The Fiat 500 didn't even finish. So, I mean, I think we were going to win that one anyway. Let's get on and see who's next. Well, unfortunately, we did knock Buckshot out, but Multiply is still in that McLaren F1 wide body there. Our next race is the Ford Mustang RTR Unicorn Street Edition. We know that thing's insane. Hopefully we can beat it. Let's go. We all know I'm a massive fan of the Mustang, and that Street Unicorn looks absolutely incredible. Hopefully we can beat it. We do know they are quick. They do normally win these competitions. Let's get in. Let's go. Off we go. Come on, Chieftain, you can do it. Into second. Bit late on the gear change there. Into third. Oh, we are just about staying in front of that RTR Unicorn. Let's get into top gear. Can we stay in front, or is it going to plow down? It's only just past my rear window there. It's not that far behind us. At least we're going to win, hopefully. And this will be a bit of a closer race. Let's get across the line. And what times have we got for our second run? Is it better than our first? A 9.255, sadly not better than our first run. A hundredth of a second slower there. 22.771 to the 1 mile. Was a little bit quicker to the 1 mile, with the same top speed of 358 kilometers an hour, but we have made it through. So let's get into the next round and see if we can push our way on to the final. Is it going to be a Multiply Virtual Mechanic final race? I really don't want to face that McLaren, so I kind of hope not. But we are both up against the Fiat 500 Abarth V12, designed by myself. So let's get in and see if we can beat this one, although we already have beat one today. Not even a different colour Fiat 500. You could have put some effort in game. Come on, change the colour a bit. We've already beat one of these, so let's just get into it and see if we can beat this one. Off the line. Into second. That was a better gear change than last time. And we have absolutely flown away from that Fiat 500 off the line. Wasn't quite expecting that. Was expecting a little bit better. We just had a bit of a closer look. But yeah, does look like we've probably got this one in the bag, which means we probably will be in the final. We will be in the final. But will it be against Multiply in that wide body McLaren F1? There we go, across the line. Have we beat our first run? No, we're getting worse. Slightly better than the last run at 9.237 to the 1/4 mile. 22.862 to the 1 mile, our slowest so far. And still a top speed of 358 kilometers an hour. Let's get in and see who we're up against in the final. Well, I don't know how that happened. We've beat 2 Fiat 500 VM Abarth V12s already today, and now we're against the last one in the final that apparently did beat the McLaren F1 wide body, which is a little bit of a surprise, if I'm being honest, because we all know how insane that car is. Let's just get in and probably win the final race, which I'm definitely happy about, because it means we get some winnings from the drag tournament. I won't lie, this has been a bit of a disappointing tournament. 3 Fiat 500s, all in white, and 2 of them so far haven't finished. I wonder if it'll be the same for the final, although I'm quite happy if it does, because it does mean we will definitely get the winnings. So let's just go and see what happens. Off the line, into second. That was a bit slow. There we go, bit of wheel spin there. into third, and I imagine, yeah, that Fiat 500 is so far behind us, probably crashed and isn't going to finish again. So we're just going to keep this one going and get across the finish line, and hopefully with the best speed of the day, that would be nice. And then we have to go back and see where this one will fit on the speeder board. So come on, Chieftain TBX, let's get across the line. There she goes. Is this the best run? 9.168 to the quarter of a mile. Not quite. Our first run was the fastest with a 9.155 seconds to the quarter of a mile. We managed this last one in 22.809 to the 1 mile. Again, not beating our first run, but the top speed has stayed consecutive throughout at 358 kilometers an hour. Let's go and collect our winnings and get the Chieftain back to the garage. There it is, 11,250. Always happy to win that from the drag tournament. Obviously, minus our 1,000 entry fee does mean we're up 10,250, but we were down on the car from the very beginning of 5,153. So that mitigates almost half of that. So now let's get back to the garage, get this one on the speeder board, get this one sold on for hopefully a tasty bit of profit. Well, there we are then, all finished with the beautiful Chieftain TBX in that lovely Born to Burn livery, modded in by metasoma. Link in the description below, but do bear in mind it won't work with the normal hoods unless you edit it yourself. So there we go. We managed a 9.155 to the quarter of a mile, 22.755 to the 1 mile with a top speed of 358 kilometers an hour from this beautiful Chieftain TBX today, putting it 39th on the speeder board out of 78 cars down the drag strip. Not too bad. Almost in the top half, but not quite. Now let's talk some facts and figures about this beast. I bought the car for 30,809 at the beginning, and if I sold it there and then, I would have made a loss of 5,153. But we didn't do that, obviously. We spent another 52,146 upgrading and modifying, tuning and painting this beautiful Chieftain TBX, paying our total spend 82,955. We'll be able to make some profit from this beautiful car. Let's get in, let's find out, let's take the final look at this Chieftain TBX. Well, there she is, all 100% finished, absolutely fantastic. That engine almost doubled in power from 545 horsepower to 1,082, a gain of 99%, almost doubled in power, so close. Truth is though, can we make some money? 82,955 is what we spent. And we can sell it for 128,363, making 45,408, plus our drag strip winnings or profits of 10,250, putting our total profit at 55,658. Now, this is a base game car, so anybody can play along with this one, whether you're on console, PC, it doesn't matter. You just need to be on PC if you want the livery, because that's on the Steam Workshop. There we go. Link in the description below to that one, by the way, if you do want it. Let's say goodbye to the Chieftain TBX and our tasty little bit of profit. And let's see what we've got coming up next. Well, joining us next Monday, we're going to have this Ribzan, which is a Nissan, but we're not calling it that. This is the Ribzan Z530 F-Spec. We haven't done the F-Spec yet, so we're going to be taking this one. Oh, where do you want to see it? Do you want to see this one on the drag strip or around the racetrack? Do let me know down in the comments below. We got this one from the auction house, and it's about the same as the Chieftain TBX, to be honest, which isn't too bad. Did we get a good deal? Absolutely not. I bought it for 32,404 and could sell it right now for 26,322, losing out on 6,082. If we do go to the drag strip, hopefully we can do the same as we did today and claw that one back with some drag strip winnings. The engine in this one is the V6 double overhead cam NSN engine with 314 factory horsepower. So make sure you join us back here on Monday for this beautiful Ribson. Do let me know in the comments below what you thought of the Chieftain TBX today and any suggestions for the Ribson, even though I have already got a livery in mind for it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a cheeky little like. Don't forget to make sure you are subscribed to this channel, especially if you want to see more. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, whatever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.